Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone doing today? I am Star-Lord New Thor 7, and I'm telling you to smoke them if you got them, and definitely spend a little more time with your loved ones. And I gotta say, if you are in parts of the coast areas of Massachusetts, Connecticut, possibly even New Hampshire, I would evacuate. If you are directly near the coast, I would evacuate. What we're looking at here is 95-mile-per-hour wind gusts into the areas I'm talking about. And so this is going to go through 4 high tide cycles. It's a full moon today. Happy March, everybody. And so this is going to go through 4 high tide cycles. So we're going to see some large waves, some moderate to major coastal flooding, almost all the way up and down the coast. We're going to see a lot of rain, a lot of wind, a lot of snow, and then the freezing air is going to come right in. So the projections for like New England and Massachusetts, you got like 14 to 20 foot waves coming in for almost a 40-hour period. And now let's watch this storm on here real quick. So this will start now. And these are wind gusts. But watch how this storm develops and unfolds. It'll really kick up on Friday. But look how giant this is. It's almost like a reverse landfalling hurricane. I mean, look how big that thing is. I mean, I don't ever remember seeing something like this. So this is definitely going to bring major coastal flooding. And it's weird because, like, it seems like a lot of the East Coast people get hung up on snow. Like, oh my God, how much snow is there going to be? Man, snow is nothing compared to storm surge and coastal flooding. And so this storm continues to expand. It's almost expanded. Has expanded into Florida now. Like, the wind field goes up and down the entire coast, all the way from Nova Scotia, Halifax, down to Florida. So I highly recommend everybody take this seriously. And if you were within 1 or 2 miles of the coast, even further, if you can, I wouldn't take the chance. So this is like Sunday. So as the storm really starts to do damage on Friday, we're going into Monday, and the whole wind field and the wave field is still there. See that? Kicking it over the waves right now. And so it's Monday, and New England still looking at 15-foot waves on Monday. So this storm, I'm going to go ahead and go on record and say I think it's going to be worse than Sandy. I think parts of, like I said, Maine, this is Rhode Island, pretty much this whole area is what I'm worried about right now. Now, this is subject to change. We're still 24 hours-ish out, but pretty much from New Jersey, from Atlantic City, all the way up through Nova Scotia, I would be worried about major coastal flooding all along the outer coasts. Remember, how I make my money on THORNEWS is by donations and contributions. That is how I live full-time doing this. So if I had been wrong, I couldn't sustain doing this. If I was a fearmonger just trying to say, oh my God, remember, YouTube doesn't pay jack shit these days. So no matter how many views I get, when I get 1 million views, I get like $400. So it is not about views. It is about saving lives, preparing people, and accuracy. And if I wasn't accurate the majority of the time, I wouldn't be able to do this full time. So, and although I'm not a professional meteorologist, so technically this is not a forecast, I'm just a pretty smart guy who's gotten it right the majority of the time. And I'm not saying that to blow my own horn. I'm just saying America seems unaware, and especially the West Coast, or the East Coast media. Like, other than the weather people, I don't see the East Coast talking about this that much. I don't know if it's because it's not called a hurricane or whatever. But we have serious problems as Americans. And while everybody's arguing about whatever and everything, this storm is now moving over areas that are already super flooded. Oh, computer, why do you have to go so slow? What percentage of storm accuracy do I have to get to where I can afford a new computer, by the way? And things are weird all over. This is the United Kingdom and Europe. And it's not every day you see this. Extreme winter weather for March to the UK. And so someone said they don't even remember red snow warnings. And that is all over Europe. I mean, the strangeness is everywhere. And so I'm not making this up. Like, NWS Boston, the National Weather Service, please retweet moderate or major. They've already ruled out minor. It's either going to be moderate coastal flooding or major coastal flooding with hurricane force wind gusts. Very significant coastal flooding along the eastern Massachusetts coast over multiple high tide cycles Friday to Saturday. Cape Island's property damage, numerous power outages. And so I don't know if you remember how well our government responded to Puerto Rico. It wasn't very well. And so we are going to have to deal with this on our own. I keep saying at THORNEWS, it's almost even best if you pretend like your government doesn't exist. Because the weather is getting extremely weird. Like, look at this rain band cloud. Like, that thing is astronomical. And on top of this, the West Coast is getting hit at the exact same time. So this storm is just getting ramped up. It's Thursday morning, and this thing won't even be done and out over the ocean until early Monday, I believe. And that I need to remind everybody, in case you forgot, we already have a major river flooding situation going on in the United States. Last time I checked, I think it was 243 rivers are flooding, and this was up from 220 yesterday. Come on, computer. The last time I checked, it was 240 rivers flooding. All right, it's not going to cooperate. And so I got the 95 mile per hour wind gusts from Brad Panovich, Weather Brad. Those winds on Friday will be major across the entire East Coast. So we're talking 45 mile per hour winds, 56 mile per hour winds in New York, 52, even down to Virginia Beach in North Carolina, 40 mile per hour winds. And remember, it's going to stay windy through Monday and Tuesday. I mean, this is a real deal big situation. Even the king of weather Twitter, Cranky Weather Guy, has been talking about the storm for days. And days. This thing is massive. And not only that, you got storms coming into the West Coast as well. So, let's say, are you done loading yet? No, come on, man. You let my people down. I didn't want this video to be long. Just give me this number. Do 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 do. All right, this Dream of Genie, 245. So the last time I checked, there are now 3 more rivers flooding all throughout here. We have 245 rivers already at major, moderate, or minor flood stage, and then 160 rivers near flood stage. So that's over 400 rivers that are either flooding or about to be flooding. As this storm moves slowly over all those areas. And notice the red and the orange are heavy rain. So, man, the way we've been doing things has not been working. Standing around arguing about politics does not work, does not help anybody. And so, this is just me talking about the weather situation again. And so, and another thing is, look at how its moisture field continues to expand. So the very next nor'easter that's going to bomb out will be about a day and a half away from when this storm ends. So you got like 4 or 5 nor'easters coming in the next 2 weeks between the flooded areas and then the East Coast. Like I said, the West Coast is even getting on the action. Let's go frame by frame, shall we? Okay, so you can watch either one you want. You got major rain for the West Coast and then major rain for the East Coast. I mean, look at this. And my big concern with like New York and the exact same areas, see these giant chunks of moisture and rain? The nor'easter is going to be counterclockwise. So it's going to be pulling all that giant moisture all along the coast. This is the whole cloud water. Let's advance it to alright, let's go right over there. This is the 3rd about noon. I mean the 2nd. So that's Friday. No, this is tomorrow. So this thing is going to be, so if you just click between, see these giant moisture blobs of that rain? It is going to be pulling it through the wonderful place caught to your graces. New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey. And so this is why between the wave heights, counterclockwise, nor'easter, the rain, coastal flooding, storm surge, that's why I would recommend evacuation if you are very near the coast. Because this thing is going to get bad. Like I said, I think it's going to be worse than Sandy. Hopefully I'm wrong. And you guys will be like, oh, you were wrong. I was like, well, you know, it's nice. Now that I was finally wrong, maybe women will date me. LOL, what? Alright. So yeah, I mean, this thing is... People seem asleep at the wheel right now. And this is bad. And my track record is pretty impeccable. Especially since Hurricane Matthew. I've been on a extremely, incredibly accurate streak. What is that even? So I'm putting out the warning. You know, I mean, if it were me and I was anywhere near there, I would get the hell out of there. I wouldn't even risk it. But it is up to you. Like I said, I don't know what to do. I've been trying to get Americans to come together for 5 years. And that is the last thing Americans seem to want to do. And so and I would guess by the time the storm is over, we will see 400 rivers flooding. An old psychic, Edgar Casey, predicted that America would tear in half from the Great Lakes to the BP oil spill. He didn't say the BP oil spill because it hadn't happened. But it happened to happen down here. And then you got your earthquakes in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's become the #1 earthquake epicenter in America since 2000. So you got and then you got your methane sinkhole in Louisiana. So I can kind of see what Edgar Casey was saying. So if all these rivers are going to flood, that's going to create weight. So I'd hate to see that prediction come true. But it's definitely something you can prepare for if you choose to. And I bet this storm is 5 days from now. When this storm is closer, they'll fill this out with the severe weather crayons and the rain crayons. So you literally see how close these two are. So you're not even going to get a break. Very much of a break. And like I said, the whole temperature factor, I think it's going to be colder than they say. So it's going to come in and freeze. And then you're going to have another storm. And notice how it's doing this kind of the same thing. And look at the entire West Coast is getting hit again. So this is the wave after wave after wave period. And it's a bit scary. But have no fear. Like I said, if we somehow magically come together, we can conquer and adapt to anything. So then, like I said, then after the 6th, then you got another one on the 10th. That looks pretty bad. That looks really bad. And that is over. There's the 3rd storm in 9 days over the heavily flooded areas. Look on here, this says a 975 low in the exact same areas along the coast. So that's 3 bombogenesis storms in the place where 100 million Americans live. Look at that. I mean, that is incredible. You're going to go through an incredibly wild period. And so you have your next storm. What was that? 14th? That's 4 days later. So, and it's bombing out again. So, you know, I'm here trying to tell you guys what the deal is. And I'll be here all weekend, keeping you guys updated. And I'll remind you, THORNEWS is a publicly funded YouTube channel. And so I'm about to work 60 or 80 hours over the next 100 days. And so any contributions or donations to my PayPal would be severely appreciated. So I can buy some comfort foods and some comfort beers. Maybe bake myself a comfort cake while working my ass off. I'd appreciate it. Because this is no fun. Now, after this video is done, I'm about to cut together all the professional clips of all the stuff, of all the bad weather that's going on, to keep you guys informed. And that always leaves me in a severely horrible, depressed mood. So, I've been giving my all for a long time, trying to get Americans. For 5 years, I've been trying to warn you about how bad it's about to get. And so, I'm lucky to be alive, though. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for staying with me. And please take this very seriously. And I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.